Hi everyone, let's talk about Lands of Galzyr, which I just did a full playthrough for, well, a full first game of. It's on GameFound right now. If you'd like to check out the campaign page, it's linked in the description. You can see all of the final stuff there. This is all prototype components, and you can check out the playthrough for more about all of that if you'd like to see it in action. This is just what I think, if you are interested in that kind of thing. So I am a big fan of basically the whole world of Dimera in Dale of Merchants and Dawn of Peacemakers, which I've covered on the channel before. You can check out playthroughs for both of them if you'd like to. And this is... It follows on a little bit from the Dawn of Peacemakers way of introducing a kind of ongoing thing, a campaign, a big story in addition to the game that we're playing. This is full on. The game is the exploration, the storytelling. And if you've seen me talk about things like Sleeping Gods recently, I really enjoy that, especially when that is just the sole focus of the game. I really want to find out about the world, especially when you are interested in the characters, the world that is there, which I already was for this because of those two other games. I really love the art style of it. I really like this kind of charming world of these anthropomorphic animals. And yeah, I was totally in as soon as I heard this was happening, which I think was the last time there was an Essen, which seems like forever ago now. But anyway, it works beautifully well. The app version of an encounter book works fantastically. You know, I do love scrolling through great big adventure books and all of that, but yeah, it's as long as you don't mind a bit of digital being introduced in there, it just works better. It's quicker finding out what you need to know. It keeps things hidden. It's, you know, asks you everything you need. You can't miss any of that, because if it's asking you, do you have this thing? You have to answer before it'll let you know any further. And it can be updated and changed in the future as well. And you can have it offline if you like. I really like how it works. And yeah, as nice as it is, flicking through an enormous book, I think the benefits of this are a lot better. And the encounters themselves, I really like how we start with the introductions to our characters. Another thing that was done really well in Dawn of Peacemakers, you have a starting quest now that you want to go on that introduces you to the kind of style of your character, which you're not tied to. You can change how your particular traits work based on certain rewards that you get. But yeah, it gives you kind of an introduction to who this is and what they are here for. But along the way, by doing other quests, by traveling to these different places and picking up quests from the notice board, you will be tempted into different directions, all the while knowing that, you know, time is of the essence, because whether you're playing this cooperatively and there is a deadline in the days, we have a certain number of days to play with and then it's over, or whether you're playing competitively and as soon as someone reaches a certain amount of prestige, it's over. Time is always of the essence, so you can't afford to just stop everywhere or just stay in a settlement and do everything that's in there. You've got to try and think about what is going to be best for me now. And, you know, doing these quests is probably the best way of getting you prestige. I really like that you can team up with some of these quests as well. It can be hard to, you know, make it work logistically, since you can only move a couple of spaces at a time. If you've decided to start at opposite ends of the world, you're going to find that a bit difficult unless you choose to soar in the sky and get to someone. But yeah, the ability system is quite different. You know, it's roll to resolve. Something that I've definitely moaned about plenty in the past, but I really like how you can, with such a simple system, you can kind of tailor your playstyle to it. You can be, you know, a bit conservative, like I ended up being at the end of the playthrough here. So you can use these skills in your skill checks. If I am doing like a communication skill check here, I can use these two dice and have a much better chance of doing it. You know, there's a 1 in 3 chance of me getting a double communication face on those dice. But you can also use it in adjacent things where you've got a 1 in 3 chance of getting a single one of these. So no matter what skill check I do with this setup, I will get 2 bonus dice that have varying effectiveness. You always get a reroll, something that we missed when we were first playing. So you've always got a bit of a chance to change this. But you go into these skill checks knowing what you've got, knowing what you're good at. The items can be massive in how you succeed, and I really like how you just kind of pick up all of these things along the way. And even when you do fail, you will get a kind of daft story. You'll get a humiliating kind of result. Your character might be ridiculed for what they did, but it's not like you are stuck here. It's not like a miss a turn, you need to do this again next turn. It's like, and now we're moving on. You need to do this next thing now. Yeah, you did something embarrassing. Let's move past it and carry on with the story. I really like that element of it as well. So when it does come to you failing, it's not like you are just stuck there. And especially when playing this cooperatively, which really, I really like that the competitive mode is there for if you would like to play it like that. Personally, we are co-op all the way, so I really, really love that we can just choose to do that as well. And yeah, in the competitive mode as well, though, being able to partner up on those quests will be an interesting decision because they might be nearby, but what if they're really leading in prestige? You might desperately need their help, but do you want to push them further into the lead? If you're right at the back, maybe you're not really bothered because you want to try and claw your way towards something. But yeah, there's that whole mind game thing to play into there as well. There is so much stuff just in this prototype. I know that it looked like there's not that much in the massive card tray, but this is just, a sampler for what is going to be in here. The bit that you saw in the playthrough, even though it was a full game of it, so many different items, so many different quests, so many different options could have come out there in terms of just the interactions in the cities themselves. They could have been massively different, and they can be further changed based on whether we're going to be in summer or winter, which is another thing that the game tracks. The event things are really cool as well, that it matters where you particularly are, but if it's a certain day or you've got a certain status, you might get a different a different scenario that relates to that kind of thing. You will accumulate all of these things with their own tags and their own little benefits, and sometimes they'll really help you out with things, but they might come up again in future missions, in future quests that you go on. It might really matter that you've encountered this thing in the past, and they could be part of an ongoing storyline. I really like that it's just kind of this, we can just play it game by game, but it's this persistent ongoing thing that we can just keep playing and keep exploring all of this wonderful stuff. I absolutely love it. The downside, if you're really, really against digital, you just can't play it. If you're absolutely no mobiles or anything at the table, yeah, there's that. And if you get really, really unlucky, then the dice might be an issue, but as I said, you still just get to move on. You still just get to carry on and just try something else. And you can always, before you go on these big momentous story missions, you can look at what's in the place. Well, you can go to the market, you can try your hand at the casino, or go to these different places and interact and hope to find something that will help you along your way as well. And yeah, you will go into the next game with all of this stuff, all of these quests and these ongoing things. Mostly Marty will lose his inner peace, but other than that, he starts the next game with this stuff. If you don't start the next game with enough quests, you can get some from the notice board, and we decide where we start in the world in the next month, because a couple of weeks have gone by since our last adventures, so we can be somewhere else. You can start in a place that's really going to help you out. And yeah, I just love that we are kind of tweaking and refining our characters and going on more and more adventures as we go along. So excited. I really wish this was just like a big ongoing series, but I really, really hope that it will be when the final thing comes out, because this prototype needs to go on to the next person to make more wonderful videos and have, I imagine, very different adventures. Past the starting quest that we were on, anything could come out from there. And when the final thing exists and there are, I imagine, way, way more cards, again, check out the campaign page to see all of the stuff that is planned for the final version, because this is pretty much component wise and the look of it, this is what the final thing will look like. But yeah, there's just going to be loads and loads more, all polished and beautiful. Can't wait. I really want this to be another ongoing thing. Hopefully it will be soon. Playthrough is there, though, for you to make your own mind up. Maybe you're not as giddy as me about it, but I really hope that you are, because you could join me later on when we come back to this. But that's Lands of Galzyr. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you for the next game. Bye.